The big news today, earlier today, it was broke that Manchester United dismissed Jose Mourinho as manager of Manchester United, and whereas I'm relieved that it's all over for Manchester United and parted ways with Jose Mourinho, I never wanted this to happen. I mean, from the beginning, I wanted Jose Mourinho obviously to succeed as Manchester United manager. He was the man I wanted to replace Sir Alex Ferguson when Sir Alex Ferguson retired. He was, I mean, his CV spoke for itself. Fantastic manager, won so much in the game, won everything in the game. Was for a number of years the greatest manager in the world, winning titles and trophies in impossible places. And these 3 seasons just haven't gone to plan for Manchester United. I really thought that Jose Mourinho was the man to bring back the good times to Manchester United. I really did, even if it was for a short spell in charge at Manchester United. I really thought that he would bring the title back to Manchester, and it hasn't happened. It's been really disappointing. And this season, results have just been so poor for Manchester United. Really poor. The performances have been really poor as well. They've been terrible. And we're lucky to be in 6th position, to be honest. On the performances alone, we could be halfway down in about 10th with the performances, but other teams are not getting anywhere. I mean, there's Everton and a few other teams around us, but they're not really doing much themselves. So Manchester United we're never really going to go anywhere with Jose Mourinho. We're going to just hover around the 6th, 7th position mark probably and be way away from the top 4 this season. But it might bring a bit of excitement at Manchester United. Some of the players just look so disinterested. Some of them are just not playing nowhere near their abilities. But what has really shocked me with Jose Mourinho is the players that he's utilised over the last 2 or 3 years. This just isn't the man that I loved when he was at Chelsea back in his heyday. No, not at all. You just could never imagine him playing the likes of just his go-to man, Marouane Fellaini, Ashley Young. I mean, these players would never have been nowhere near his sides 5, 10, probably 10 years ago, back in his early Chelsea days. I mean, he had one settled team. He knew exactly what team he was putting out, and he rarely ever changed it. And Manchester United, certainly this season, has been atrocious for that. I mean, he's nowhere near got a settled team together. He's just putting players in all sorts of different positions that shouldn't even be playing there. It's just been terrible. Players that should be playing are just not getting any football. And yes, I know that he's lost the dressing room now, and that was ultimately what has cost him his job, whatever people say about style of play and tactics. I mean, when you lose the dressing room and everyone at Manchester United turns on you, that is the end for any manager, to be honest. When near enough the whole team and the staff just not with Jose Mourinho, then obviously it's time to go. And I mean, the results obviously were really poor as well, and the performances. But when players just do not want to play for him, eventually the players and staff are going to end up getting the guy out of the job. But it really was shocking to see some of the decisions that he was making at Manchester United, which I just never saw in his earlier heyday. He was the king of substitutions, and he was the king of getting the starting lineup right. Tactically, he was always amazing. He knew what to do to get a result. But at Manchester United, these last couple of years, it just hasn't been good enough. We've seen some really poor showing from Manchester United. You only got to look back to last season in the FA Cup final. Manchester United was so poor. And when can you remember in his heydays, him going into cup finals, stuff like that, and being so poor? And it's just not been good enough for Manchester United. I mean, we had a 6th place finish, a 2nd place finish, and now we're back in 6th. It's just gone backwards completely. And yes, there are some signings that he's made that have been poor, but generally overall, I think the signings were actually better than under Louis van Gaal in previous management, because a lot of them were shipped on and stuff like that. But I do think that there is some decent signings that he has made at Manchester United, whether they were his personal signings like Pogba and Lukaku, who haven't been performing this season nowhere near to their expectations, but and even the likes of Alexis Sanchez are better players than what we've had in the past. It's just none of them are performing. I mean, Sanchez was a world-class player at Arsenal. Whether he's past his best or Jose Mourinho just wasn't getting nowhere near anything out of him remains to be seen whether the new manager, whoever it becomes, comes into Manchester United. But you're looking at even the likes of Fred. I don't think he's a terrible player, but he's playing like a shit player at the moment. Eric Bailly playing like a shit player, and you think, will these players improve? I think that some of them will massively improve under a new manager. I think he lost Eric Bailly completely. But I mean, when he first went to Manchester United, we had all high hopes when he started performing Manchester United, and he's just completely lost his way. And I mean, I don't think Lindelof's a terrible player either. I think there is some decent players in the Manchester United team that he has brought to the club, and I think that a more attacking manager, a better manager will get, or another manager will get better out of this group of players. So it does remain to be seen, but we're going to now have to wait and see the next 24 to 48 hours. I mean, I could be reporting back in another video with Manchester United are talking about who they've actually employed to take the reins till the end of the season, but for now we don't actually know who is going to be the Manchester United manager at this present moment. Solskjaer is being rumoured to be the one that Manchester United may well appoint. There's also been rumours of Laurent Blanc, and also reports, obviously Dan today, so I don't know. There's also reports that Carrick or McKenna could take over till the end of the season, which personally, if Zidane, I mean, I can't see Zidane coming in and doing it just on a temporary basis till the end of the season. He would probably be my preferred pick. He's got more experience than obviously McKenna and Carrick in first team football at a massive club, managing massive egos. Solskjaer hasn't really hit the heights when he was in England, but I mean, to be honest, it can't be any worse than under Mourinho, can it? So, and I mean, Laurent Blanc, is he really a truly great manager? It does remain to be seen, but obviously if Zidane would step into the hot seat, I would be quite happy with that, to be honest. But we've had two really successful managers in the game, and it hasn't worked out for either of them. Louis van Gaal and now Jose Mourinho being fired as Manchester United manager. I mean, it should have happened a long time ago. It should have happened 2 or 3 months ago. It really should have done, certainly after the games at home to Juventus. Games like that definitely should have been gone then, but I'm not going to jump for joy because I didn't want this to happen. I wanted Manchester United to turn it around, but it just wasn't happening, was it? It just was never going to happen. The results were getting worse and worse. The performances were getting so bad, and that performance against Liverpool just really killed it and just ended it for Jose Mourinho as Manchester United manager. He probably will go on and succeed at another club and do well at another club, and I don't wish him any bad for the future. I mean, he's won Manchester United 2 trophies, which has been the best with Manchester United done since Sir Alex Ferguson left, but it just wasn't meant to be. Probably the wrong time for Jose Mourinho, because most times Manchester United would have been challenging for the title last season with the amount of points tally we got. Just that Manchester City was so bloody good last season, and on some seasons we would have even won the title in that season. Then people would have been saying, well, Jose Mourinho's won it in his second season. He nearly always wins trophies in his second season, and then third season would have gone to pot, and people would have said, well, he's come to Manchester United, won the league, and then cleared off. So it could have been like that. I mean, people may have seen it differently if Manchester United got the same points tally last year and won the league. I don't know. We weren't always great last season. We started off great, but we weren't great. Certainly towards the end of the season we were poor, but we got a respectable points tally, and then this season it's just gone to pot. I mean, but as I say, I don't think Jose Mourinho is a completely bad manager. I just think some of his decisions this season have been baffling, where he's leaving out players like Pogba, Mata, Marshall, and first bringing on Fellaini against Liverpool at half time. I mean, that, to me, some of them decisions are baffling, but obviously he's probably picking the players that he likes and just leaving out players that he just dislikes at this moment, this later stage in his Manchester United career, because he probably knew that he was on the verge of leaving Manchester United and getting the sack, so he probably just fucked it in. Anyway, but I do believe that he will probably go on to if he gets another big job, that is. Obviously it's going to be difficult now for Jose Mourinho to get a big job, but he probably will. If he does ever go back to Real Madrid or somewhere big like that, and they back him with a lot of money, he probably will go on and win some trophies and then have another bad season and move on again. I mean, you don't just become a bad manager overnight. I don't believe that, but obviously falling out of the dressing room, losing the support of the players, has ultimately killed off his job. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on today's news. I will probably come back and do another video as and when we do appoint someone else and give my thoughts on that, but for now, probably, if nothing changes, Carrick will take place in the hot seat for the game against Cardiff on Saturday. So we will look forward to seeing that game. Hopefully Manchester United can get back to winning ways. I mean, there's very little chance of Manchester United stepping up into that top four this season, but there was no hope under Jose Mourinho. That was completely gone. I mean, it was absolutely impossible, but there's still over half a season to go. So if Manchester United could go on some sort of run, could they push it close? I doubt it now because it's so far adrift, but you never know in football. But the main problem is that not many teams at the top are slipping up this season, like Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal are all winning lots of games, and Manchester United will have to go on one hell of a run if they are to stand any chance of getting in that top four. But if we could at least go on a run and maybe start performing a bit better, play some better football, at least it would excite some fans and definitely get the likes of Mason Greenwood getting in that fucking team, because he is an absolutely awesome young player. So hopefully that could be a bonus for Manchester United if we are to get someone like Carrick in. Would Carrick give some of the youngsters a go? Certainly if McKenna come into Manchester United, would he give some of the youngsters a go? That would be exciting. So we've got maybe some unknown to look forward to against Cardiff and for the remainder of the season. Hopefully something exciting can happen now for Manchester United and bring back some of the form, even of last season where we were actually winning games, maybe not playing great at times, but still winning games. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the situation today. Who do you want to be manager? I mean, who do you want to be permanent manager? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll talk to you all again soon.